Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a recent favourites, just some things I've been loving lately. I've got a few different categories. There's some like beauty, makeup, skincare stuff. There's one book. There are some like food bits, and I've got a few films as well that I want to talk about. Let's just jump straight into it. Also, I've got a iced vanilla oat milk matcha, and it is so yummy. I just love matcha so much. You might say I love it so matcha. Okay, no, that was terrible. I don't know why I said that. Let's start with makeup. So firstly, I have been loving the Vive Complexion Balm. I bought this because I posted a TikTok asking people what their favourite Vive product is. Because I've got a few Vive products and I love them all. I actually haven't like tried a product of theirs that I don't love. And so many people said that this is their favourite product, so I had to buy it. And I can understand why people are so obsessed with it. I love it. It feels so lightweight on the skin, like it feels lovely to wear. I really don't like anything heavy on my face. I don't like wearing foundation. I do like to have some kind of like base makeup on. Sometimes I'll just do like a glowy primer normally, and then a concealer and my bronzer and blusher and stuff. But a lot of the time I do like to do my primer and then have some kind of base product. And yeah, when I do want some kind of base on, I have been going for this. I absolutely love it. I got the shade 120. Obviously I am quite pale, though I do think this is perhaps a shade too light for me. I think I should have maybe gone a shade darker. I think it looks fine, but I'll just go for the slightly darker shade next time. But I absolutely love this product. Love Vive. I'm just obsessed with everything they do. I love Jamie Genevieve so much. I think she's incredible, and she knows her stuff. And then also I've been loving the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I'd heard so many incredible things about this and I just caved and eventually tried it, and wish I tried it sooner. I absolutely love this stuff. I've like nearly gone through a full bottle and I did not buy it that long ago. I've been using this pretty much every day. I've been using this as like my glowy primer, and then I'll go in with like the Vive Complexion Balm, or I've just been using this like by itself, like if I want to have more of a no makeup day but kind of still a bit of a makeup day. I've just been wearing this by itself, and then I'll maybe do like a little bit of concealer. But I think just this by itself just brightens up your face so much, gives you such a nice like healthy looking glow. It's not like too intense of a glow, but it definitely just like makes you look a little bit more alive. It says instantly illuminates and hydrates for glazed glowing skin, and that is exactly what it does. I love this and I will definitely be repurchasing it again and again and again. I got the shade 902 Light Glow and I'm literally obsessed. Okay, and then this mascara. I love this mascara so much. I have been using this since I was in high school, and I'll go through phases where I'll try other mascaras. I've tried honestly so many of them, and I always come back to this. I just think it's like perfect, no notes. I love this so much. I last tried a different Maybelline one and it just did not hit the same as this one, so I went back to my roots. And I'm so happy I did. I love this so much. And then also, I can't remember if I spoke about this in my last favourites video, but I have been loving this Maybelline Lifter Liner. I initially got the shade Big Lift, which I do still really like, but I've actually been reaching for this one more since I got it. This is the shade Line Leader. It's just a really nice pink lip liner. It's not like too pink. I'm wearing it now actually. I just love it. I love these lip liners so much. They stay on for ages. They feel really nice to apply. They're just perfection. Line Leader has been my favourite recently, and then also this shade On It, which is like a brown, it's just a lovely, lovely brown shade. So Line Leader and On It have been my favourite lip liners recently. I've also been wearing Velvet Teddy from MAC a lot, which like used to be my favourite. I used to wear this all the time back in my youth. And yeah, I recently repurchased it and I just love it so much. Though I have just been doing like a lip liner and a lip gloss recently, which I've been really liking. The gloss that I've been loving is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Ice. I love these glosses so much. I've also got it in the shade Stone, but Ice is just chef's kiss. It's my favourite. It's like a really pale pink, like it's almost clear I'd say, but it's got just like got a little hint of pink, and I just love a chunky applicator. This doesn't feel like sticky on the lips at all. It's just the perfect gloss, perfect shade. I love it. I think I particularly love a pink lip over the summer, and I've been wearing the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee a lot. I love these glosses. I've got these in quite a few shades and I just love them. I think they're perfect. I'm not sure exactly how much they cost, but I know that they're like fairly affordable, which is always a bonus. So I think that's it for makeup. Skincare, I have been loving the Cetaphil moisturising lotion for normal to dry sensitive skin. I love this moisturiser so much. I'm not sure exactly how much this costs, but again, this is fairly affordable. I just get it from Boots and it's just perfect. My skin is like dry and dehydrated, so I don't know what this will be like for oily skin, but for me, this is absolutely perfect. It feels really moisturising without being like heavy on the skin. Like it somehow feels nice and lightweight, but also feels like it's doing such a good job at hydrating my skin. I just love it. It's perfect. I use this morning and night every single day. I just can't fault. And then I've also been loving this SPF from Beauty of Joseon. It's SPF 50 with rice and probiotics. It says it's a lightweight and creamy type organic sunscreen that's comfortable on the skin. It really is nice and lightweight and comfortable on the skin. It feels lovely to wear, lovely to apply. It doesn't feel like thick and heavy. I've literally like nearly gone through an entire bottle. I've been using this every day since I got it and I absolutely love it. Okay, fragrance. Both of these were kind of gifted to me, but like me talking about them is not part of the gifting. They were like sent to me as PR with no obligation to post about them, but I've just been genuinely absolutely loving them. So the first one is this Calvin Klein mist. It's a hair and body perfume mist. The scent is silky coconut. I love anything coconut scented, so I knew I was gonna love this. And I got this like a few weeks ago now, and I've been using it like pretty much every day, and it's literally only gone down like a tiny bit, so it really does like last a long time. I just love the smell of it. It smells just like summer in a bottle. It's just so nice and fresh and I've just been really loving it. Also, what I'll do is I'll normally spray this first and then I'll go in with a perfume afterwards just to smell extra good. And then this perfume, this is 16 Scenic Rose from Leda. I absolutely love this. It's the perfect like spring summertime fragrance. It's like sweet and floral. I don't always love a floral fragrance, but I've been absolutely loving this. It's got pink pepper, matcha green tea. I'm a matcha girly, as you know. Strawberry, pear blossom, rose, musk, amber and vanilla. So I think you've got like the sweetness of the strawberry and the pear, but then you've also got the musk as well. So it's not like a sickly sweetness. It's just stunning. I really, really love it. It reminds me of just, yeah, springtime, summertime. It's just, honestly, it's so fresh and I just really love it. Okay, a book that I read recently that I really loved was my first Emily Henry book. I finally jumped on the Emily Henry train. I know I'm very late to the party. I read Funny Story and I absolutely loved it. I can see why everyone is so obsessed with Emily Henry. This book was incredible. I was hooked from start to finish. I was so invested in the story, in the characters, in their romance. I'm not always a romance girly. They've got to be done right for me to enjoy them. There's just certain things in romance books that I'm kind of picky about. If the dialogue's like really cheesy, I really don't like that. I have to be really invested in the characters and the romance. Like if I'm not really rooting for the characters, I don't really care that much. I was so invested in this. I love Daphne, I love Miles. Miles was just perfect. I also loved the kind of subplot between Daphne and Ashley. The fact that their friendship was kind of a fairly heavy subplot alongside the romance. I really enjoyed that. I just loved it and I totally understand the hype and now I need to read everything that Emily Henry has written. I've actually started You and Me on Vacation. Obviously, love this one so much. I just needed to get another Emily Henry fix. So I'm really not far through this at all. I think I've only read like 30 pages or something like that, but I'm liking it so far and we'll see how it compares to Funny Story. Okay, a couple of food bits. These crisps, the Tyrrell's truffle and sea salt, these are delicious. I love anything truffle flavoured, so these are just like so Moorish. I am trying to hold off from opening them so Liam and I can share them tonight when we watch a film, but it's taking all of my willpower. They are so good, so yummy. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend. Okay, and then also, I always love Tony's Chocolonely. It is like one of my favourite chocolate brands. I love the chocolate itself, like it tastes so good, but then also I love what they stand for and their whole mission. I just think they're such a good brand. But then also, very exciting, they've started doing a smaller size because normally it's like quite a big bar. I don't know when they started doing it. I think it's recent though. They've just started doing these smaller bars. So I picked up one of the milk caramel sea salt and then this one is milk chocolate with pretzel and toffee. I love pretzel. So these two flavours I love. I also love the yellow one, which is like almond and nugget, but I don't have any of that right now. But I'm very excited to scoff these probably both tonight. want. Okay, another thing I've been loving is having fresh flowers around the house. I actually started my own little cut flower garden this year. I planted some seeds earlier this year and they've done pretty well. So I've just been picking fresh flowers from my garden and having them in vases around the house, which has been so nice. I just love having fresh flowers around the house. It just like really boosts my mood. Like it does make a difference to my day. Just whenever I see a vase of fresh flowers, it just uplifts my mood a little bit. I just love it. I often talk about romanticizing life and it's something that I feel very passionately about. And I think it's a lot to do with the small everyday moments and just doing little things that bring you joy or boost your mood or just feel like, yeah, like a little luxury. So this is your sign to buy yourself a bunch of flowers, basically. You deserve it. Listen, if you've had a tough week, you deserve some flowers. If you haven't had a tough week, that's reason to celebrate. You deserve some flowers. It just makes sense. Okay, I'd actually forgotten about my matcha. Okay, and then finally, I want to talk about some films that I've loved recently. So I have been trying to watch films that I have not seen before because I have got such a habit of rewatching my comfort movies, just the ones that I know and love. Once I like a film, I can watch it over and over and over. If I like it, I like it. But there are so many films that I haven't seen yet that have been on my watch list for the longest time, and I'm trying to finally get round to just making a dent in the list, basically. So the other night I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox for the first time ever, directed by Wes Anderson, who I love. The Grand Budapest Hotel, also directed by Wes like we're on a first name basis, also directed by Wes Anderson, is one of my favourite films ever. So I feel like a fake fan that I hadn't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I absolutely loved this. I give it 5 stars. It was incredible. As soon as it started, I was like, oh, I'm going to love this. It was just perfect and like so cutesy and wholesome, and it was funny as well. Like I was chuckling the whole way through, and just I love the story. I love the characters. Like it was just perfect. It was just like whimsical and I just really loved it. Okay, then I also watched Frances Ha. Greta Gerwig is the main character in this and she is incredible. I love her as a director. She directed Barbie and Lady Bird, but also I didn't realise she was such an incredible actress as well. She is so natural. This film was incredible. I was so hooked the whole way through. It is black and white the whole way through. It's basically her kind of navigating her 20s and friendships and her career and just kind of finding herself, and I just think a lot of it resonated with me. A lot of it was very relatable, and I think that a lot of women, especially in their 20s, would find it very relatable, or certainly at least find parts of it relatable. It was also really funny, but it was also like really poignant and tender. I just really, really loved it. Greta Gerwig just gave such an incredible performance. She's such a natural, and I gave this one 5 stars as well. And then I also watched Dead Poets Society for the first time ever. I cannot believe I had not watched this one before. It was phenomenal. I was just so gripped, so invested in the story, in the characters. It was so moving. As a girlie who loves literature, and English was one of my favourite subjects at school, I just absolutely loved this. Robin Williams was incredible. I think he was just incredible in everything he did. I was sobbing by the end of this. It pretty much ripped my heart in two. I just loved it though. I also did not know anything really about the story, like the actual storyline itself. I knew the general idea of kind of Robin Williams coming in as an English teacher and kind of shaking things up. That was all I kind of knew about it. I didn't really know where the storyline went. It was just phenomenal and I loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. And then finally, just one more film that I want to mention while we are on the subject of Robin Williams. I watched The Birdcage, which is just such an iconic film, and I can't believe I hadn't seen it before. It was just so funny the whole way through. I was like fully laughing out loud from start to finish. So Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are the 2 main characters in this. I'm not very good at summarising movies or books, so I'm just going to read the synopsis to you. Middle-aged gay life partners Armand Goldman, a Jewish drag club owner, and Albert, the club's flamboyant star attraction, live in the eclectic community of South Beach and have raised a straight son. Now, their newly engaged son, 20-year-old Val, wants to bring his fiancée, Barbara, and her ultra-conservative parents home to meet his family for the first time. By Val's request, Armand pretends to be straight, not Jewish, and attempts to hide his relationship with Albert in order to please Barbara's father, controversial right-wing Republican Senator Kevin Keeley, who was played by Gene Hackman. It's honestly hilarious. It's like touching on obviously like meaningful and important topics, but it honestly is hilarious. It does it in such a funny way. As soon as the film started, I knew I was going to absolutely love it. Pretty much as soon as Nathan Lane first came on the screen, he was just hilarious. Robin Williams was incredible as ever, but Nathan Lane just carried that film for me. He was just the star of the show, and I would definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen it before, I would give it a watch. And I rated that one 4.5 stars. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. They are some things that I have been loving lately. Please let me know in the comments anything that you have been loving, or if anything from my list was on your list as well. I always love to hear what other people are loving. I'm just very nosy like that. So please do let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.